So I think there's two aspects of the Oxford experience which are significantly different to other universities, and I should say that they both apply to Cambridge as well. And we're
Yeah.
not rivals; we're friends and colleagues. So what I say applies equally to the two. The first is small group teaching, what at Oxford we call tutorials, and what at Cambridge they call supervisions. And a tutorial involves two students and a tutor spending an hour every week going over a piece of work that the students have submitted to the tutor,
Mhm.
typically the day before the tutorial. The tutor has had a chance to look at the either essays or problem sheets for the most part and knows where the people in the tutorial have done well and where they need particular focus and particular additional help. Now, I mean, I'm obviously hideously biased, but I think this is a fantastic educational experience. It's really personalized and tailored and a really rich experience. And it's one of the reasons that our students go on to become such high performers in their future careers as well. I mean, it really gets the best out of good people. It has to be said, there are downsides, and it is not the case that everybody who is above a certain level of performance must surely want to have that experience. It is the case that because the tutorial focuses on where you need the most help, no tutorial is ever entirely relaxing. Good students are likely to have had the experience in a number of their lessons at GCSE and A level where they were on top of the material, they were doing fine. Frankly, they could relax a bit and let the lesson drift by and not feel under any pressure. In a tutorial, we skip over the stuff you could do. The tutors are always very friendly and they'll say, "Oh, you did well on this bit." And then let's move on to the bit that you didn't do so well. That's where we're going to sort of focus the discussion and work through those other problems. Not everybody wants to be challenged in that way. Every tutorial will be some sort of challenge, and you're in the spotlight. It's pretty much impossible to fall asleep in a two-person tutorial and not be noticed. In a lecture, which is a sort of large group teaching method that all universities use, including Oxford and Cambridge, you can sit at the back of the lecture theatre and drift off, and nobody will notice and nobody will care. You can't do that when there's only two of you. You just can't. And I'm not saying you'd want to, but not everybody is comfortable with that level of scrutiny. Is pretty relentless. And the other thing is that in preparation for each of these tutorials, you will have had to do a problem sheet, and or write an essay, and that's a level of written output that is higher than most other universities will ask of you. And that's another reason why it's particularly important for us that we select people that are really keen on their subject.
Mhm.
We want people that think to themselves, "Oh, goody, I get to write another essay on Byzantine history this week," rather than, "Oh no, not another essay on Byzantine history." So it's even more important to us. It's important to all universities that their students are motivated by their studies, but it's more important than ever in our case. The other thing that is distinctive about Oxford and Cambridge is the sort of collegiate system. So, if you're a student at Oxford, you're a member of the whole university, of course, you're a member of your department, but you're also a member of a college. And a college is a significantly what I would call more human scale size of sub community within the university. The colleges all have range of subjects, so they don't specialize. There isn't a science college and a history college or anything like that. But whilst Oxford's annual intake at undergraduate level is about 3,500 new students every year, within a college, it's typically, I don't know, it ranges. My college, it's about 120. I think that that means that it's much easier to make a difference, to be known for the individual that you are
Mm.
within that scale of population. You can still go and do exciting things at university level if you wish, but if we didn't subdivide our 3,500 people down, you'd have 3,500 other people to sort of compete against for president of the student union or something. It actually means there are a lot more opportunities to contribute to things like social organization. Each college student body has their own local student union, what we call a junior common room, and they organize a social program, they organize welfare support and awareness raising activities. There's quite a lot of intercollegiate sport, and there's college level music and various other things, which just make it easier to do stuff and to get involved. And somewhat counterintuitively, in spite of all this work I've been saying that you get to do, our students actually do more in the way of extracurricular stuff than a lot of other universities, because the opportunities are so much greater. There's a student union for just the 400 undergraduates, so your chance of holding office and being able to put that on your CV, although you shouldn't do it just to put it on your CV, is that much greater. Your chance of helping out, of making a difference to your community, is that much greater, which is more significant, I would argue.